Welcome back, everybody, to Warhammer 40K Space Marine. My name is Splattercat, and as always, here at the Nerd Castle, we are indulging quite heavily in our Lord and Savior Matt Ward's offerings. We are just all up in his purse. Just, Matt Ward, let me see your purse and dig through it. Do you have to clean? I suppose you might get some kind of, like, carbon residue if you're firing lasers, I guess, that would kind of collect on the inside of a barrel. I was about to kind of just be like, how would you get residue from a laser rifle? But now that I'm thinking about it, it's absolutely possible. There's another audio log. I suppose we should introduce ourselves to Inquisitor Drogan. Let's do it.
Encoded transmission from Inquisitor Drogan to Inquisitor Lord Sharp. As we'd hoped, my lord, Forge World Graia is an ideal location to focus on my work. Though helpful, the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus are forever curious. Interest can easily turn to interference. I will be cautious about involving them in my experiments, at least for now.
So one of the things you have to realize about the universe of Warhammer 40K is that they worship machinery. Like, they worship the Emperor, but they also worship machinery. And so when you hear references to, like, tech priests, for example, tech priests are these guys in robes that walk around, and the big problem that the Imperium has is that even though it looks like they're technologically advanced, like if you take a look from our perspective, it's like, oh my god, look at all the cool weaponry and stuff they have. The fact of the matter is the Imperium has lost most of its technological advantage. In fact, new things are no longer being invented because invention and adaptation are considered to be the marks of heresy. And so what you have is that, like, when something breaks, it's about 50-50. Basically, if you try and fix it, somebody might say you're a heretic because you know how to fix it. Or the other possibility is that when something breaks, the tech priest might just come along and start, like, praying to whatever it is. So if your gun if your gun, like, locks up, the tech priest might sit there and just, like, pray around your gun with incense and just, like, hope it starts working again. And so the Imperium is kind of a backwards place to live while at the same time being technologically advanced. It's kind of an odd juxtaposition, and it's almost a little bit of a paradox. But again, it's that paradoxical nature of the Imperium that I think brings a lot of people into the fold and makes them enjoy the setting.
A place the orcs have not stained.
For now. I doubt even dropping that cannon on them will convince orcs to back away.
Indeed. We must find this Inquisitor and the Titan Invictus.
So we have very, very low ammo right now for just about everything. We got a little bit of ammo left for the Stalker Bolter, so I'm going to keep that one out just in case we find ourselves lined up with a couple of foes. And wow. They did a pretty good job translating a lot of the graphics and a lot of the little cartoon works and things you see from the handbooks into actual form. It looks pretty convincing. I dig it. Definitely impressed by the artistry and the way that they managed to model out the things that are represented in all the codices. Oh, it's an elevator. I was like, alright, what are we doing here? We're just, like, hanging out next to this warm vent like it's winter. I used to do that when I was a little kid, like in the winter. We had floor vents, and so I would put a blanket over the floor vent, and I would use it like a tent, and I would just sit in there and, like, read books and stuff. And it worked out pretty well until my parents caught on, and then, you know, they shut that system down. I had a pretty badass system for keeping warm up until people started to catch on to the trend. In any case, you know, if you're ever feeling cold, give it a try.
Invictus seems undamaged at least.
Titan Invictus seems unused, you mean? Is this invasion not enough to bring out the War Titans?
It takes hundreds to get a War Titan operational, Sergeant. Without them, it sits idle.
God, that is a hell of a gun right there. That thing would make an Atlas just shit its pants. And yes, that was a Mech Warrior reference. What are we even doing here? Oh yeah, we were looking for Drogan, but I also want to look for some ammunition. So let me take a couple peeks around at the corners here. Hopefully we don't expose any locations in which... Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. I mean, when you start peeking in corners of video games, you tend to find weird things like textures that are missing and stuff of that nature. And every time I find that, it ruins my immersion and just makes me feel a little bit depressed. I'm just like, ugh.
Captain, this is an auger station. I can scan for the Inquisitor's life signs.
Access authorized.
There. A lone human.
Identity confirmed. Drogan. Ordo Xenos.
He's in this wing of the manufactorum.
I read alien signals throughout the facility, and a large number converging on the Inquisitor's location.
Okay, and so it looks like Drogan's gone and got himself into trouble. The problem with Inquisitors getting themselves into trouble is that really you kind of want them around. A lot of them tend to be pretty powerful psychers, things of that nature. People have psychic powers, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But select groups of people in Warhammer 40K have psychic powers. Quite impressive psychic powers as well, although some of them manage to fall to heresy when they start using them a bit too much. Let's make sure we've checked every single location for ammunition, because that's one of the main things that we're lacking right now. Grenades, not quite as helpful as ammunition, although I suppose if we end up getting flash mobbed by a large green group of enemies whose verdigris tends to match that of trees or whatever, I don't know, I'm trying to use big words right now and I'm just getting caught up. In any case, let's continue working towards Drogan's location, because I really feel as though these dead periods are kind of boring. In fact, they're boring me right now. I'm just like, oh my god, give me something to shoot. Like right now, bring something that I can bolt. Like this location is dreadfully under-bolted, and I would prefer to just bolt the living hell out of it if I can. This thing rotates, which makes sense. It's got track laid right there, so obviously it's like a redirection for some kind of minecart or train or tram system.
Leandros, can you use this panel to contact our other forces?
Not directly, but I can boost Vox range.
Do it.
Access authorized. Ultramarine chapter.
Here, Captain.
Ultramarines, this is Captain Titus. Are you receiving?
Captain, this is Sergeant Midas. Squad Solidus is on the ground and making for our objective.
New orders, Midas. We are at Manufactorum Ajakis and have located the Titan Invictus. I need Solinus to come secure the Invictus while I divert to a priority alarm.
On our way, Captain. Midas out.
Okay. And so now that we've talked with our friends, because everybody knows that you got to get those short chats in when you can, especially on the battlefield, just frenzies, pinky swear, and all that fun stuff. Now that we've had a lovely conversation with our friends, we're probably going to get back to the killing and murdering and annihilating, although I suppose it doesn't count as murdering. They're orcs, whatever. Do I have enough bullets to play the game now? Yay, I have enough bullets to play the game! I suppose we could use the Vengeance Launcher for a bit. Let's use the Vengeance Launcher for a little while until we regain a little bit of ammunition for the regular bolter. I could use the bolt pistol, but I'm not feeling it right now. I'm just not in a pistolero mood, which is weird for me, because as Splattercat, you guys know that I absolutely 100% love pistols. Like, I tend to go for them first. But in this case... Oh, there's a grot over there. Okay. Orcs are in the pipes. What pipes? I don't see any pipes anywhere. Oh, that's unsettling. Oh, they said in the pipes. They're on the pipes. Well, a few less greeny gets in the way. Yep. It takes more than that to kill an orc, but I do indeed have more than that. They thought I was just going to stand there and get shot at. That's why they were confused. They thought that I was going to sit there with my hands in my pockets and just get shot, and they're like, well, it's going to take more than that to defeat us. I mean, obviously, if you think you're going to do it with your mind, that's not going to happen. I picked up another audio log, but I don't know. Tell me down in the comments if you want to hear the audio logs. What I may do is if I end up finding them all, I may upload them to YouTube, all as just little sound files, so people can listen to all of them in a row if they really, really want to. And then I'll tag the hell out of them so that they can jump to the one that they want. And there's another one right there.
Transmission to Inquisitor Lord Sharp. My lord, the research facility is operational ahead of schedule, thanks to the tech priests. I've already begun my work to create a stable energy matrix. Harnessing these unorthodox energies is proving more promising than I could have dreamed.
So essentially, after you've been an Inquisitor for a while, so what'll happen is you'll be an Inquisitor, and Inquisitors are surrounded by a retinue of other people that are basically their manslaves. But if you're a manslave long enough, then they train you to be an Inquisitor if they think you have the potential to be one. If you're an Inquisitor for a really, really long time, you become a Lord Inquisitor. And if you're a Lord Inquisitor, you're then put on the voting council to become one of the High Inquisitors of Terra, or the High Inquisitor of Terra. And once you've served that job, you get another title, which is Lord Terra. Which, I don't know if you guys wanted to know that, but, you know, Terra is the main planet that everything kind of circulates around in the Imperium. It's basically their Coruscant.
Repeat authorization.
Drogan,
Prepare the power source for immediate release.
One moment.
Faster. Disregard all safety protocols and...
Speak clearly. Repeat authorization.
And here he is.
Inquisitor Drogan?
I am Drogan. And you are?
Captain Titus of the Ultramarines. We received your distress call, but you seem to have weathered the enemy's attack.
I am soldier and scientist, both, Captain.
What is the status of the experimental device?
The power source is running the entire manufactorum from the generator room.
This device is a fuel source, not a weapon?
It is a complex device and an unstable one. If the orcs find it, they'll try and take it apart. It could detonate with enough force to destroy the entire planet.
Then we must move it to safety.
And for that, Captain, I need your aid. This way.
You are wounded, Inquisitor Drogan.
I'm a psyker. My psychic abilities are controlling the bleeding.
Very well.
Well, isn't that thematically convenient? In any case, as I said, some humans have psychic abilities. Orcs have psychic abilities too, but in general, orcs don't necessarily know how to use theirs except for weird boys, which are guys, they're basically shaman that have figured out how to use their powers.
Space Marine! You're trying to steal my titans? Steal my loot? I'll rip your guts right out your throat!
Yeah, this is bad.
I'm gonna put your head on a spike, Space Marine!
Okay, so now that the problem's been handled, I don't really know what my goal is with him, or if he's even coming for me. However, that right there is a mech boy, and mech boys are really, really bad news. As in, they're kind of terrifying. They tend to be war bosses and things of that nature. Well, my guys are shooting at him, or is he running away now? I think he just left, so it might be a waste of ammunition to fire on him. I've got enough ammunition left now with my bolter to actually get on into the fight and get back to that normal bump and grind that we tend to do. You always want to shoot those little guys right there, the ones that are holding the hatches open. Otherwise, you will find yourself with just a large retinue of orky friends. And by friends, I mean things they want to kill. One of the things a lot of people, I think, don't understand about orcs is that orcs actually are having fun right now. Like, when orcs are getting killed or killing people, orcs are having a blast. Like, as long as they're doing that, they're totally good to go. And in the case of certain orcs, like there's a war boss named Ghazghkull, in the case of war bosses like Ghazghkull, the more fun they have, the more likely they are to come back to your planet. So let's say that your planet was just tons of fun to raid and fight. Like when the orcs showed up, your planet put up a really, really good fight. Orcs don't necessarily want to win. Orcs want there to be the longest, most drawn-out fight ever because while they're fighting, they're having fun. And so, essentially, if your planet is a lot of fun and you put up a fight, that means you're basically going to be endlessly attacked by orcs for like the remainder of your life. That's just the way it's going to go down until they overwhelm you and destroy you, at which point they'll get bored and go somewhere else.
The orc has a scent for us now.
Damnable creature! Had he not blundered onto this world?
But he did, Drogan.
I see another opportunity for some damage dealing potential. It's got a blue light on it, which I think in most cases means that it's a weapon. Let's have a look and see what we have here. A bolt pistol for a plasma pistol. Absolutely, I'll take a plasma pistol. So essentially, the plasma pistol, what it does is you can charge it up. So instead of ammunition, the plasma pistol just has endless ammunition and does a lot of damage too, but it overheats. And so you've got to be very, very careful about it. Additionally, you can charge it up like so, and fire big explosive blasts at people. It'll stick to somebody and then blow up shortly thereafter, doing a ton of damage. This is one of my favorite weapons when I was playing the co-op mode, except I liked the big one, the heavy plasma thrower. Now then, where are we headed? I wasn't really paying attention. I suppose we've probably got to walk this catwalk up here. Let's go up and around. Why do they call them catwalks? I assume it's because they're thin and only a cat could walk on them. That would be my guess if I had to assign a linguistic base to the whole thing. Oh, good, a weird boy.
Boys want to give you a proper greeting.
Now, we don't really want to be near that when it blows up. That's the big thing you want to be aware of, is that being near the plasma bolt with orcs that are running towards you is kind of a major issue, and that actually went straight through him. Let's try again. There we go. You want to attach it to his shield, and then eventually stick him in the guts with one. Although, as you can tell, it's not necessarily being the most effective of weapons. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to give it to him like so. Because sometimes you got to adapt the way you give it to your friend who's an orc. Oh no, what happened right there? Oh, there's missiles around somewhere. Somebody just shot me. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, jackasses. Oh, I'm so angry with you guys right now. Get out of the way. Oh my god, I hate you so much right now. Also, learn to tank something. Seriously, gents. And blown the hell up. I'm going to use the Vengeance Launcher from here on out because I feel as though these orcs definitely have me outpaced. They've got me on a tiny catwalk and they're using huge tower shields that you can't really shoot through. If you shoot the shields enough, I know they stagger, but I'm not really interested in wasting ammunition like that, since what I've noticed about the game is that they tend to kind of keep you jammed up on ammunition at any given time. What's happening here? And also, where did that rocket launcher guy go? I distinctly remember seeing a rocket hit me right in the side of the head while I was running around, and since I so wisely decided not to wear a helmet on this mission, that becomes a primary concern, is like objects striking me in the face. Now, obviously, I still have my gene seed, like that's still attached, and so as long as I have that, they'll be able to keep a new recruit in my image as soon as I get done here, but I would prefer to remain alive.
Where does this facility go? The manufactorum? Far deeper. The whole generator room is actually suspended above a venting shaft.
Suspended?
Yes. In case of catastrophic overload, the whole room can be shunted away into the depths.
Just goes to show that if you're worried about something being safe, place it over a shaft.
Ah, yes, here we are.
Colder than a spaceman's smile in here.
Yes, a byproduct of the device's functioning.
Well... Oh yeah, and I wanted to tell you guys, while I'm on the subject of just kind of rambling, I wanted to tell you guys, I looked up what happens to a Space Marine's waste. They don't actually have to take any of the armor or anything off. Their waste is automatically extracted and turned into a nutrient paste, so basically they consume their own waste over and over and over again, so they don't have to eat it like... They don't have to eat weeks at a time. It's pretty crazy. It's an interesting invention, although I'm not sure how I would feel about eating my own fecal matter, even if you turned it into a nutrient paste, as delicious as that sounds. I'm still not entirely convinced. I feel as though you might...
Titus, proceed into the main chamber. We need only obtain the power source at the core of the generator. I will initiate decoupling from a control console.
Understood.
Alright.
Guard the access points.
I have engaged the decoupling sequence, Captain. You must keep the chamber secure until the power source is exposed.
Identity confirmed. Drogan. Ordo Xenos.
So it appears as though we're on guard duty. We do have the benefit of these little pillars right here, so we can pole kite a little bit, get our Holy Paladin on if we need to. Oh, and there's also a large circular room. They're gonna make me fight the mech boy.
Shield is open, Captain. Head into the central chamber.
Alarm. Xenos detected.
Captain, the war boss.
Space Marine! What are you hiding down here? Whatever it is, I want it!
Oh my god. And so now we have a serious problem on our hands. Oh, you guys are dicks. This plan is terrible. Because it involves me having skills. Oh my god, now they've got missiles too. How could this situation get any worse? I'm just gonna shoot him for now. In addition, I'm also gonna try and waste as much of my ammo as I can while running in circles.
It will retrieve the power source and get it into its canister.
Yeah! This sparky thing what you want, Space Marine? Then I'll take it for myself!
Yes, indeed, that sparky thing is what I wanted.
That damn orc will kill us all. Grab it, Captain. Force the power source into its canister. Quickly!
The whole room is coming down!
Well then.
Respond.
Captain, the Inquisitor insisted you could not have survived.
Well, I did, and I have his precious power source.
We set a rendezvous in Hab Center Andris. These tunnels will spit us out there eventually.
Fine. Continue heading toward the Hab Center.
So as always, the game adopted a plan that requires me to be skilled in any sense of the word. I'm going to break the episode off here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerd Castle for another episode of Warhammer 40K Space Marine. I'm feeling pretty good about this series. I like it, although I think it requires a bit more finesse than I actually have. You'll forgive me, my voice is a little bit raw right now. I caught that cold that's been flying around campus the last couple weeks. I dodged it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I finally caught it, so every few seconds now I've got to like clear my throat or something ridiculous. Editing ho! But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do!